you've got to clear up, and you've got stairwells that you've got to clear up to instead of down, well, now the enemy have a tactical position on you. They've got the high ground. All it takes is one bad guy, an AK-47 or a grenade. You throw the grenade over the railing, take the AK, and just what we call blind firing to clear up through a compound like that. Number one bad guy on the planet takes a brave man.
On the first floor, they encounter a man running towards them on the stairs. They shoot him dead. The US government will later describe this as a kill or capture mission. But nobody in that house has any doubt about what the SEALs have come to do tonight. Al-Kuwaiti's brother emerges. The SEALs kill him too. They begin to encounter women and children.
A child with a suicide belt or with a weapon that's pointed at you and squeezes the trigger will kill you just as fast as an adult. Female, male, old, young, if it's a threat.
The one image that comes out of this is the fact that bin Laden's final sight on this earth was the muzzle of a U.S. Navy SEAL. For those of us who've been looking for bin Laden for a long time, to know that that was the last thing that he saw is actually a moment of joy.
The SEALs have shot a woman in the leg and a man they believe to be bin Laden in the chest and head.
Confirmed. Geronimo, EKIA.
It was announced that Geronimo, the code name they developed for bin Laden, was EKIA, enemy killed in action.
Gasps, literally. The president just said, "We got him. We got him."
This was a big gamble, and I think at the time I said something very brief. I said, "We got him." But there was no whooping, there was no hollering, there was no high-fiving inside the Situation Room. At that point, all of us were focused on, are these guys going to get out safely?
The SEALs have been on the ground now for 29 minutes. The plan was to complete the mission in 30. There's just 1 minute left. They have a crashed helicopter, intelligence to collect, and no certainty that the man they shot is Osama bin Laden.
The early reports were that the individual that we believe bin Laden was taken down. We weren't certain that it was him until we could do a more extensive identification check.
The team has just minutes to do all it can to identify the man they shot. First, they use an unorthodox method to gauge his height.
Interestingly, they didn't have a tape measure to go ahead and measure him. One of his defining qualities was that he was very tall. And so one of the taller SEALs actually laid down next to the body for them to make sure that he was of the required height to be bin Laden. They took facial recognition photos, uplinked them back to the forensics database people in Afghanistan and Washington.
When you look at an individual, it's different than looking at a poster. You know, there's doubles. And you look at an individual and you go, you know what, I think that's bin Laden. Would you stake your kid's life on it? Well, there's hesitation. That's why you do DNA.
There is no DNA trace of bin Laden on record, so samples will be tested against a close relative.
All of us, I think, took pause, not wanting to get too excited. Number one, because they're operating in pitch darkness and identification could not be certain. Number two, our guys still weren't out of there, and we had one helicopter sitting in the middle of a compound.
With one Black Hawk down, there isn't enough room for everyone on the remaining Black Hawk helicopter. So the two backup Chinook helicopters come to the rescue to take the SEALs, the body, and any evidence of Al-Qaeda's activities out of the country. In a nearby building, a web designer begins to tweet.
A helicopter hovering above Abbottabad at 1 a.m. is a rare event.
Pakistani military could arrive at any second. The SEALs have been on the ground 33 minutes and should have left 3 minutes ago. The most critical part of their mission is to bring back the dead man's body. If they have indeed killed Osama bin Laden, this is their only proof. Support troops help the SEALs search the compound and grounds.
They only have minutes to go through this entire 3-story building, plus the outbuildings, the garbage areas and such.
In one of the rooms, they discover what they're looking for. A huge cache of intelligence, including, the CIA will later claim, Al-Qaeda plans for attacks across the world.
He left a tremendous digital trail that for any intelligence professional is a treasure trove. And that I thought was a bit surprising.
Garbage bags full, big old burly special operations guys literally hauling this stuff back to the Chinook as fast as they could.
One problem remains: the crashed helicopter. Nobody in Washington wants to let $60 million worth of brand new stealth technology fall into enemy hands.
You can't take the helicopter with you. So your choices are, do you leave it intact and ask for it back, or do you destroy it?
But destroying it is sure to alert the authorities. They decide to take the risk. So while one team flies out with the body, a second one guards the women and children that are all being left behind.
Another team was going back to the wreckage and setting demolition charges to destroy the avionics.